What we are going to teach today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, means coming 3 classes, would cover the entire rotational mechanics. So understand what we are taking is the most important part, and understand each part very clearly. First thing. Second thing, because in this part I want interaction from you. That means if after writing on the board I ask you whether anybody have any doubt, you can ask that doubt. Okay, so we are going to start, and we are taking the combined translational and rotational motion and how to deal with it. We are taking the case where center of mass is moving as well as the body is rotating. We would find a method of solving those questions, and all the methods what we are going to get are ready-made methods. You apply in the questions, you will get answers. This is very important. Okay, so once I write something in the mid also or later on also, if you want to ask any doubt, any question, you can unmute yourself and ask the doubt. Okay, so we are taking combined translational and rotational motion. What we are taking? We are taking combined translational and rotational motion. What is the meaning of that? Understand? So what we are taking is combined translational and rotational motion. Translational and rotational motion. Now why it is called translational? Why we come to conclusion that the motion is translational? Because we see center of mass. How we conclude that a particular motion is translational? We see center of mass. If center of mass is not at rest, it is translational motion. Understand? That means V center of mass is not equal to 0. Center of mass is not at rest, so we conclude it is translational motion. Is any angle, any imaginary line drawn in the body, if any imaginary line drawn in the body changes its angle, if any imaginary line drawn in the body changes its orientation, if any imaginary line drawn in the body changes its orientation with respect to any axis, that means tilts, in any way it tilts. If it tilts, angle changes, it is rotational motion. That means what is the meaning of rotational motion? That angle changes, orientation with any axis, orientation changes. For example, this is a wall and this is a ground. This is a wall and this is a ground. And we are finding that there is a rod slipping here and there is a rod slipping here. This end is going left and this end is going down. This end is going left and this end is going down. And we are finding that is the center mass at rest? No, because center mass is slowly coming down as well as left. So center mass is not at rest, so it has translational motion. And is the orientation of this line, angle theta, changing? Yes, it is changing. So it is rotational motion also. So it is combined translation and rotational motion. So this is combined translational motion. Why? Because center of mass is not at rest. Center of mass, if this rod was initially like this, now it slips, it becomes like this. So center of mass is moving. So this is translational, and because the orientation is changing, it is rotational. So it is combined translational and rotational. Similarly, suppose a ball is rolling. On the ground. This center has speed V. This center has speed VCM. And it is, if I draw some certain lines and I find that if this is A point and this is B point, this is A point, this is B, this is the vertical diameter here. After some time, what I found, and this is center of mass, suppose C. After some time, I found it like this. C comes here. That means center of mass comes here. So center of mass has moved. So that is translational. Because center of mass has moved, it is translational. And because it has, and now line AB looks like this. Now line AB, which I draw with the marker, if I draw like this, on this I draw with the marker, I find that after some time this center is here. That means that is translational, and because this angle has changed, I can see this angle have changed. So this is rotational. So this is combined translational and rotational. This is combined translational and rotational. There are many such cases. There are many such cases where the body is in combined translational and rotational motion. So if center of mass is not at rest, it is translational. If angle is changing, it is rotational. So we have combined translational and rotational. So let us see how to manipulate, how to do these questions, how to do these type of questions, and what is the general method, what is the method of, what is the principle behind this. Okay, now there is a theorem that is called Chasles theorem. There is a theorem that is called Chasles theorem, Chasles, Chasles theorem. This Chasles theorem is nothing but what we have studied in center of mass chapter. When we study center of mass chapter, we study a concept that is called center of mass frame. How to solve a question in center of mass frame. If you solve any collision or momentum related question in center of mass frame, that is also called C frame, then your question solving becomes very easy. You can solve without any calculation graphically by drawing some vectors, by some drawing without any calculation. You can get the answers easily in C frame. So this is, we have studied in center of mass chapter. I am not going to elaborate here. Chasles theorem or center of mass theorem. What we have studied, or C frame. In C frame we have studied. What Chasles theorem says? Chasles theorem says that if I have a body and after some time I have a body in another place, in any orientation. If I have a body here, I see it here at t is equal to 0, and later on at t is equal to t it is here. Then this can be converted to this by only two steps. First step is move its center of mass from here and translate it to coincide with center of mass here. So once it is here, later on it is here, in any direction. Initial position, initially the body is located somewhere, and finally the body is located somewhere. What you have to do is that first move the center of mass, move this along initial position of center of mass to final position of center of mass. One translation, and then about some axis passing through center of mass, rotate it. About some axis passing through center of mass, rotate it. You would get the final body in exact shape, size, where it is, its location. That means any motion can be obtained by two pure steps. One is purely translational with center of mass, and one is rotation about center of mass. So this is here, and later on it is here. If this is here, and later on it is here. So I have to convert this into this. So first I move it, this center of mass to this center of mass. So this becomes like this. From here I move here, and then I rotate it about this axis, and I got this final shape. That means every combined motion is superimposition of two motion. Every combined motion, every combined translational and rotation, every combined translational and motion, every combined motion is superimposition of two motions. Which two motions? One is translational, purely translational with velocity of center of mass or acceleration of center of mass. Whenever a body is moving, take one motion as purely translational with VCM, with properties of center of mass. And second is purely rotational about a center of mass axis. Another axis, another case, fix the point and rotate it. Rotate it purely about center of mass axis, and you would get the entire motion. When I say superimposition, I want to tell you, if there is scalar quantity, you have to add the two components, like half m VCM square. Due to translational motion, your kinetic energy would be half m VCM square, and due to rotational motion about center mass axis, your kinetic energy would be half ICM omega square. Add the two, you would get the total kinetic energy. Or if you want to know speed, if you want to know velocity, find the velocity. If the body in purely translational with VCM, find the velocity of different points when the body has only translational motion VCM. Then find the velocity of all the points if the particle is only rotating about a fixed center mass axis and superimpose them, because velocity is a vector quantity, VCM vector plus omega r vector at any point, that will give you net velocity. Similarly, if you want to know angular momentum, get the angular momentum due to purely translational and get the angular momentum due to purely rotational and add them. We would see how. But basic thing you understand, whenever any combined motion is there, I can break that motion into two pure motions. I can separate the two motion. One motion is purely translational. One motion is purely translational, where every particle have same velocity. And one motion is purely rotational, about center of mass axis, where every particle is going on circular path about center of mass axis. I superimpose the two. I add this factor and this factor. I get the complete motion. Always. So this is our first method. Later on we would find a shortcut method for that, and that is instantaneous axis of rotation. Every combined motion is purely rotational motion about some axis. Every combined motion, there is nothing called combined motion. Every combined motion is a purely rotational motion about some axis lying somewhere, which we have to find, and that axis is called instantaneous axis of rotation. In that case, question becomes very simple because number of variable is very less. We would see how. Any doubt up to here? Anybody have any doubt up to here? यहाँ तक किसी को कुछ समझने में दिक्कत हुआ हो? Anybody have not understood what I have told? Okay, so now we are coming to our conclusion of Chasles theorem. First I come to conclusion of Chasles theorem. I try to complete rotational mechanics in 3 classes. All the combined motion cases I would take 2 classes today and 1 more class. 1 class I would take for angular momentum and collision questions. That we are going to come. Randhir, in 3rd class, means today I am going to take something, tomorrow and before, then angular momentum we are going to take a separate topic, and we will take collisions. How collision takes place between rod and moving things, and how to simplify it, how to solve it easily. So we are going to take, in 3 classes, I am going to complete rotational mechanics. After that, according to demand, till I have got in that, I have to take semiconductor 1, and 1 was heat and thermodynamics. So maybe I would be taking heat and thermodynamics first, and then semiconductor, and then again we have time left, and we would do some more topic that you demand. You just go through your weaknesses and tell me before that. So understand this, what I am going to tell now. So suppose there is anything. What I want to say by Chasles theorem is that, so suppose this is a rod. So this is a rod of mass m, length L. This is a uniform rod. This is a uniform rod of mass m and length L. Okay. Mass m, length L, and this is the rod. This is its center of mass. देखो, this is a rod of mass m, length L, and this is its center of mass. So center of mass and velocity VCM. Okay, and it has some angular velocity omega. So this is the VCM. So this is your VCM, and it has angular velocity omega. That means what? This center mass, if you see this center mass moves with the speed VCM, velocity VCM. In 1 second it moves a distance VCM, and this angle in any time t, this angle which the rod makes with x axis say, that becomes omega t. This angle becomes omega t. This angle becomes omega t. Because omega is the angular velocity. So the change in orientation per unit time is omega. Now if I have to write its kinetic energy, I would write, according to Chasles theorem, my kinetic energy total would be equal to half m VCM square, assuming that the rod is just moving with VCM. Assuming that the rod is just moving with VCM, its kinetic energy would be half m VCM square, because every particle would have same speed, same velocity VCM. Plus, second step, this is purely translational with VCM, and this is purely rotational. Second part is purely rotational. Fix this, and about this axis, rotate it with fixed axis. Now this would be half ICM omega square. Half ICM omega square. This is translational kinetic energy, this is rotational kinetic energy, and this is total kinetic energy. If I want to know what is the velocity of this particle, if I want to know what is the velocity of this particle at this moment, if I want to know what is the velocity of this particle at this moment, so how to get it? Understand, there are three particles. Suppose this particle is A and this particle is supposed to be, there are two particles, A and B. I have to get the velocity of these two particles. So what I am going to do is that I would take purely translational case. If I take purely translational case, this speed is VCM, this speed is VCM, and this speed is VCM. If I take purely translational, I do not take rotational motion. This is the purely translational motion. Every particle has same velocity. That is the property of translational motion. So this is purely translational. This point B would have velocity VCM, center of mass would have velocity VCM, and this point A would have velocity VCM. Second thing, I take this. What I take? I would be taking purely rotational motion about this axis. I am fixing center of mass. I am bringing center of mass to rest, assuming that the particle is just rotating about an axis passing through center of mass. If this is omega, then this speed would be, see, in the case of, so this is center of mass, that is at rest. Once a disk, once the center is at rest, any particle at a distance r is going on the circular path along the tangent. So here if I draw a circular path, I am getting that this point would have velocity forward, because this is rotating clockwise. So this is omega into L by 2, and this would have velocity backwards. What is the velocity? Omega into L by 2, because from the center, the distance of this point, radius of this circular path is L by 2. So velocity omega into r, tangentially, omega into L by 2. Now, take this figure and superimpose on this figure. Take this figure and place it on this figure. Every point, take the vector sum of the velocity there. So once you superimpose them, you would be getting at this point, velocity is VCM forward, omega L by 2 forward. So superimpose them, this velocity would become VCM plus omega L by 2. Here, VCM forward, omega L by 2 backward. So if VCM is more, net velocity is forward. If omega L by 2 is more, net velocity is backward. So here velocity would be equal to omega L VCM minus omega L by 2. Similarly, you can find velocity of any point. On this rod. So this is the method. Angular momentum I have not introduced till now, but after 2 classes I would introduce and I would tell you how to write angular momentum and how to use it. How to write angular momentum and how to use it in collision questions, and how to get the answers in single step. The shortest step in rotational mechanics is angular momentum, but there is art of writing that. So I would be devoting 45 minutes time to writing how to write angular momentum equation correctly. After that, I would tell how to write left and right equated to get the answers correctly. Okay. So understand what I have done. This is scalar quantity, I superimpose. This velocity is vector quantity, I have superimposed. I would get the velocities. Okay. So let us take our cases, examples. We are now taking examples of combined translation and rotational motion. We are taking examples. We have 3 examples and all the 3 covers the entire chapter. First case which I am going to take, and that is, we would say what is rolling. Okay. So let us see. Now we are coming to our first case. So we are going to cover this topic under 3 cases. Under 3 cases, combined translation and rotation. Our first case is uniform pure rolling. Our first case would be called uniform pure rolling. Understand the meaning of uniform pure rolling. There is certain radially symmetric body. Radially symmetric means, axially symmetric means something that can roll. It can be a hollow sphere, solid sphere, it can be a cylinder, hollow cylinder, solid cylinder, it can be a ring or a disc. It can be anything that can roll. So suppose this is something. This is something, and this is the velocity of its center of mass. This is the velocity of its center of mass. And this is its angular velocity. And this is its angular velocity omega. Imagine. So there are 2 things, 2 properties of this. One is that we are seeing that center of mass have velocity VCM and its orientation is changing at the rate omega. Draw any line, its orientation is changing at the rate omega. Now, we have to find the cases. So, first thing is that I have to find, and I am taking the first case where VCM is constant, omega is constant. Neither velocity of center of mass nor angular velocity is changing with time. Neither velocity of center of mass nor angular velocity is changing with time. They are constants. This is called uniform pure rolling. Now, I want to find the velocity of various points. So what I am going to do is that I am going to do, this is purely translational I am going to take, this is purely rotational I am going to take, and this is going to be superimposed to give the combined motion. I am going to take purely translational, purely rotational, and so this is purely translational, this is purely translational, this is purely rotational, and this is combined motion. Combined motion. So understand what we are going to do is that in the case of purely translational, I am saying that the body is moving with speed VCM in a translational manner. Translational manner means this. This is the translational manner without orientation. This is translational manner. That means every particle in this body have same velocity. This is VCM. This would be VCM. This would be VCM. This would be VCM. Topmost point, bottommost point, leftmost point, rightmost point, take any point. This would be VCM. This point is VCM. If this is a disk, then even internal points, any internal point would have velocity VCM. Every point would have velocity VCM. This is one thing. Take any point in the body, its velocity is VCM. Second, due to rotational motion, this is fixed axis. This is center mass axis and the axis is at rest. And the particle is rotating about this. The particle is, this axis is fixed and this is rotating about this, like this. So now in this case you can see that various particles have velocity different. So here velocity would be omega into r. Rightward. Here velocity would be omega into r. Leftward. Here velocity would be what? Omega into r. Downward. Because velocity is tangential. Here velocity would be what? Omega into r, upward. Here velocity would be what? Center of mass, 0. Here velocity would be 0. Because center of mass remains at the axis, the point on the axis remains same. This is the center of mass axis. This remains at rest. Similarly, what is velocity here? So velocity here at an angle of theta here. There is a point at an angle theta here. Here velocity would be tangential, omega into r. Now what I am saying you, take this diagram, take this circle and paste on this circle and superimpose the velocity everywhere. So what you are going to get is, understand, here you are going to get velocity as VCM plus omega r. Here your velocity would be VCM plus omega r. See, VCM forward, omega r forward, superimposed. Here your velocity would be, in the bottommost case, your velocity would be smaller. That is VCM minus omega r. This would be VCM minus omega r. This point's velocity would be same as it is, means 0 here, VCM here. So this velocity is VCM. The velocity here would be, see, VCM forward, omega r tangentially downward. VCM forward, omega r tangentially downward. So at this point, the velocity would be equal to VCM here, omega r here. Omega r downward, VCM forward. So that would become equal to under root of, this point's velocity would become under root of VCM square plus omega r whole square, and this angle alpha would be equal to tan alpha is omega r by VCM. Tan alpha r. So this is the velocity, net velocity of this point. Similarly here if you see, you would be getting omega r upward, VCM here. Under root of VCM square plus omega r square. Here if you see, at this point, you would be getting one velocity VCM. Understand? One velocity would be VCM. One velocity would be VCM horizontally. One velocity would be omega into r. In which direction? Tangentially. The angle between these two vectors, if this angle was theta, if this angle is theta, this plus this 90, this is tangential. So this is theta. So take this as theta. If this angle is theta, suppose, then we are going to get this is theta. If this is theta, with the vertical, this is making theta. That means this plus this angle plus this angle 90 degree, and this plus this 90 degree. So this is theta. So this speed would be under root of VCM square plus omega r square plus 2 into VCM into omega r into cos theta. The vector sum of these two. The vector sum of these two would give you the net velocity here. Now understand what is the meaning of rolling. Rolling means what? Rolling means, understand the meaning of rolling. Rolling means no relative velocity. Rolling means at all points of contact. At all points of contact. At all points of contact. Along tangential direction. Along tangential direction. Velocity of P is equal to velocity of Q. That means no relative motion along the tangent, along the tangential direction. Matlab, understand. If suppose when I took this case, what I was telling you that this has some body and it was moving like this. So suppose this was like this. What is the meaning of rolling here? Understand. What is the meaning of rolling here? In this case, you have got that I told you this side velocity VCM. This side velocity VCM. and this have angular velocity omega. I've told you this has velocity vcm and angular velocity is omega. Now, suppose this motion was taking place on a platform. I'm just giving some gap so that we can understand it. Suppose this motion is taking place on a platform. Suppose this motion is taking place on a platform. And this platform is going with the speed v0. So there is a truck, there is a railroad car, or there is a train. On the train a bike is going. The train is going, and on the train a bike is also going. I am saying that the wheels of the bike are rolling. What is the meaning of that? See, this point P and this point Q are in contact. This point P and this point Q are in contact. The lowest point of the wheel is contact with one of the point of the platform. Meaning of pure rolling means Vp is equal to Vq along tangent. Meaning of pure rolling means, I would say this motion is in pure rolling implies Vp is equal to Vq. Pure rolling here, in this case pure rolling implies, pure rolling implies Vp along the tangent is equal to Vq along the tangent. I know what is Vp. I have superimposed two velocities. Which velocity? I have superimposed Vcm. I have superimposed Vcm with omega r. I have superimposed Vcm with omega r, and Q have only one velocity, and that is V0. So we can get Vp means Vcm minus omega r. Vp means Vcm forward, omega r backward. Vcm minus omega r, and that must be equal to Vq means V0. देखो Vcm minus omega r should become equal to, this is the velocity of point P, bottommost point. Another platform with which it is in contact have velocity V0. Then they must be equal. There should not be any tendency of relative motion between the 2 points of contact. So that means Vp minus Vcm minus omega r must be equal to V0. This is the condition of rolling. If this platform is ground, V0 is 0. If this platform is ground, special case, in one of the special cases, if this platform becomes ground, that means V0 is 0. That means you should get, because velocity of Q is 0. If Q is the point of the ground, velocity of point Q is 0. So Vcm minus omega r should be 0. But that is not a universal case. That is only for ground. If this platform is going backwards, suppose this platform is going backwards with velocity V0. If this platform is going backwards with velocity V0, what is the condition of pure rolling? It would become omega r, because point Q have velocity backward, so you must have the velocity of this point also in the same direction, because vector P is equal to vector Q in tangential direction. So you should write V0 is equal to omega r minus Vcm. If this platform is going back, the condition of pure rolling would become V0 is equal to omega r minus Vcm, not Vcm minus omega r. Okay, so any doubt here? Any doubt here? Similarly, suppose I would have placed a platform here and moving it with speed u. मैंने क्या किया देखो, ऐसे देखो, this is the thing. I place this is a disc, I place this and I'm moving it like this. Okay. So what is the condition of pure rolling at the between this and this? Between this slab and between this, I want to have pure rolling. Okay. So what is the meaning of that? If suppose this is going with speed u, now we can see, now you can see that there are 2 points. This is point A and this is point B. Now there are 2 points in contact. The topmost point of this wheel and the one of the point, bottom surface point of this plank. Again, there is no relative motion between A and B in the tangential direction. That means what? What is the velocity of B here? If here there is no slipping, there is rolling. Pure rolling means no slipping, no tendency or relative motion in tangential direction. If in the tangential direction their velocity is same, that means velocity of A is VCM plus omega r. See, velocity of A we have got this topmost point A. We have got velocity as due to VCM forward, due to omega r also forward, due to VCM forward and due to omega r also forward. So VCM plus omega r, velocity of A is VCM plus omega r, and velocity B is what? U. This is the condition of pure rolling here. This is the condition of pure rolling here. If suppose this is rolling, as well as there is a winding here, understand? यहाँ एक धागा लपेटा हुआ, thread is wrapped many times tightly, and this thread has a block here, and the block is falling. This block is falling. Now understand, this point have two velocities. Call this point as x and this point as y. This x have two velocities. See, this x have two velocity. One is due to translational forward and one is due to rotational downward. This x have two velocities. One is due to translational forward and one is due to rotational omega r downward. At this point, have suppose only one velocity v0. In the beginning, you have given some velocity v0. What is the meaning of pure rolling here? Or no slipping, no skidding here? The meaning of pure rolling is that in the tangential direction, their velocity must be same. What is the velocity of x? What is the velocity of y in tangential direction? v0. What is the velocity of y in tangential direction? v0. And what is the velocity of x in tangential direction? It is omega r. This is omega r. X have velocity omega r tangentially and VCM normally. We do not have to equate normal velocity. We have to equate tangential velocity for the condition of pure rolling. So omega r should become equal to v0. Okay. Now see, we are going to take now rolling on ground. What happens in the case of rolling on ground? How particle moves, what is the trajectory and how it works. Let us see. Now see, if suppose we have, our condition is that suppose we have been asked to find these things. So we have been asked to find, suppose we have pure rolling on ground. What is the meaning of pure rolling on ground? Understand what is the meaning of pure rolling happening on ground as a special case. So pure rolling on ground. Pure rolling on ground. You have been given a sphere or something like this, which has velocity of center of mass is VCM, angular velocity is omega. So you are getting that, and this is the ground, and this is the ground. You know that, first of all, let us write the velocities. So I am writing velocity like this. I am just writing. Due to VCM, this point, center. Everyone would have velocity, and take this point also. Take this point at theta. So I have taken 6 points, understand? Bottommost point, topmost point, leftmost point, rightmost point, center, and one point which is making angle theta with the downward vertical. इसकी velocity due to translational VCM, इसकी velocity due to translational VCM, this velocity due to translational VCM, this velocity due to translational VCM, this velocity due to translational VCM, and this velocity due to translational VCM. Every velocity is VCM due to translational part. Translational velocity do not differentiate between different points. Now come to rotational. Now this is the fixed axis and rotational is giving it like this. So due to rotational, what you are going to get is 0 here, omega r here, tangentially, because this is rotating like this with clockwise. Omega into r here. Here tangential, omega r. Here tangential means leftward, omega r. Here tangential means here, omega r. Here tangential means omega r. Here tangential means omega r. Here tangential omega r. Every point. So this is omega r like this. This tangential like this at each point. Here it is 0. And if I take some point here at a distance x, then omega into x. Every point is going on the circular path with velocity perpendicular to the radius. Okay. I have to get the velocity of different points. Because this is happening on the ground. Because I am taking this is happening on the ground. So this is happening on the ground. So this is the ground. Because this is ground, this point P and this point Q are in contact. But point Q is at rest. Therefore point P must be at rest. That means point P must be at rest. Therefore I can get VQ is 0. Therefore VP is. So I must write because VP is 0 since VQ is 0. That means VCM minus omega r should be 0. That means VCM minus omega r is 0. That means VCM is equal to omega r. In magnitude, omega r and VCM are equal. In magnitude, omega r and VCM are equal. So what is omega r in magnitude is same as VCM. But at this point, they are in opposite directions, so they cancel. At this point, they are in same direction. So this would come 2 VCM. VCM omega r plus VCM means, because from here equating 0 to here P and Q, I am getting omega r in magnitude is equal to VCM. Omega r in magnitude is equal to VCM. So what I am going to get is that now my velocity would become what? Now my velocity would become what? See, my net velocity would become now like this. This velocity would become 0. This velocity would become 0. Why? Because VCM minus omega r should be 0 for pure rolling. If you want pure rolling, VP and VQ must have same velocity. This is 0. This is 0. What about this? At this point, velocity is what? VCM plus omega r. Radius here was 0. So omega into r component is 0. So this is only VCM. What about this point? VCM plus omega r. But omega r is equal to VCM in magnitude. So VCM plus VCM, that becomes equal to what? 2 VCM. 2 VCM. Here, VCM, omega VCM here, omega r here. VCM and VCM. And we are going to get VCM forward and VCM upward. So that would become equal to under root 2 VCM. Angle is 45 degree. Understand? VCM, VCM. Vector sum of two equal velocities under root 2 VCM. And here it is equally inclined to both the axes. At this point, what we are going to get? VCM down, VCM right. VCM down and omega r means VCM. VCM right, omega r means VCM down. So both are equal. So that would be equal to under root of root 2 VCM. This angle is again 45 degree. You can take this angle to be equal to 45 degree. What about this point? How to get velocity of this point? Now this point would have velocity, 2 velocities, understand? Dekho, I have taken with the vertical some angle theta. I have taken with the vertical some angle theta. This is a point at located at some angle theta. So VCM here, omega r here. What is the? So I can write in both ways. I can get it in I cap and j cap component, because this VCM is VCM I cap. This is VCM I cap. And this omega r, that is equal to VCM in magnitude. This vector can be written as omega r cos theta minus I cap, omega r or VCM cos theta minus I cap plus VCM sin theta j cap, and I can add the two. I can get I cap and j cap. Else I have the method vector sum of these two would be under root of VCM square plus this is also equal to VCM in magnitude, under root VCM square plus VCM square plus 2 into VCM cos 180 degree minus theta. Because angle between this vector, when the tails are coinciding, VCM and omega r, angle between VCM vector and omega r vector is this. This is the angle between these two vectors. This is not the angle. Once their tails coincide like this is the angle between the two vectors. So angle between this vector omega r and VCM is 180 degree minus theta. This is 180 degree minus theta. So let us find what is the speed of this point A. In general, a point A. What is speed of this point A? I want to find vector sum of this omega r and VCM. I am saying this omega r is also equal to VCM because from ground we have got. So these two are equal vectors inclined at angle of 180 degree minus theta. So let us find the speed. Our speed would become VA would become equal to, understand, your VA would become equal to under root of VCM square plus 2 into VCM square plus 2 into VCM cos 180 degree minus theta, and that would become equal to under root of 2 VCM square into 2 VCM square here and 2 VCM square here, common. 1 minus cos 180 minus theta. Cos 180 minus theta is minus cos theta. But what is 1 minus cos theta? 2 sin square theta by 2. This is 2 sin square theta by 2. So 2 into 2 out. VCM square, VCM out. Sin square theta by 2, sin theta by 2. This is the velocity of any point A. This is the velocity of any point A, which makes angle theta from here on the periphery. Check it whether it is correct or not. If I place theta 0, I get the bottommost point. If I take theta 0, this is giving answer 0. Yes, it is at rest. If I take theta from here, theta 180 degree, I get the topmost point. From here, if I get theta 180 degree, I get the topmost point. Place here theta 180 degree, sine 180 degree by 2, sine 90 degree, 2 VCM. Yes, I am correct, 2 VCM. Take this point. For this point, theta is 90 degree. For this point, theta is 90 degree. So what I put here, if I put here 90 degree, sine 90 degree by 2, sine 45 degree. Sine 45 degree means I am going to get 1 by root 2. So root 2 VCM. Yes, correct. I am getting root 2 VCM. For theta is equal to any value, I can get this. If I know speed, I can get theta. If I know theta, I can get speed. This gives you speed as function of time. Okay. So different points have different speed, and this is not something that is imaginary. If a cycle is rolling, if a bicycle wheel is rolled, or if a bicycle is moving, and you take a camera snapshot. If you take a photograph, you will find that in the case of bicycle wheel, you would get that if you take the camera snapshot, you would get these spokes are clear. These spokes becomes blurred. If actually there is bicycle going and you take a snapshot, because these spokes are relatively moving with slow speeds, their image comes very clear, but this image becomes blurred. This image becomes blurred because speed is very high. Not only that, if you have a case where I take a cylinder, suppose if I take some kind of a cylinder and on which I wrap a thread, rope, I place it on the ground and pull this rope. So a person is there located here. Imagine that a person is here and this person is pulling. This person is, suppose a person here is pulling this rope. ओके एक ये है, इसके ऊपर रस्सी लपेटा हुआ था, इसको ग्राउंड पे डाल दिया और मैं इसको खींच रहा हूं. By the time this rolls and moves by a distance of x, I find that the thread that passes through my hand is 2x. By the time the center of this disc or this cylinder moves by distance x, you would find that the rope that has passed through your hand is 2x. Because at any instant of time, when this speed, center of speed is v, when the center speed is v, the speed of the topmost point of the rope is 2v. That means whenever its velocity is v, its center mass velocity is v, the rope is passing through your hand with speed 2v. Therefore, in same time, the ratio of the distance traveled by this as compared to the rope that passes through your hand is 1/2. So double length passes through your hand, and that is not an imaginary concept. That is actually happening. Now understand one thing. Here it is at rest. That means what? There is another way to imagine this. If suppose I think for a moment, I think that because this is at rest, I can imagine like this. I can think of like this. That suppose I have a disc. Or cylinder, something is there, and this is an axis. ये एक एक्सिस है. मैंने इसको इसके ऊपर डाल दिया और छोड़ दिया तो क्या होगा? This is going to topple. Or understand that I have taken a disc and put it on the tip of a needle. Understand that if this point of zero velocity is the tip of a needle, ये एक सुई की नोक पे है ऐसे करके. This disc is placed like this. It's going to topple, fall. It's another thing that before it topples, another pin comes here. Again it topples, another pin comes here, another pin comes. But at this moment of time, this is pure axis of rotation. Why pure axis of rotation? Because this point is at rest. So understand at this point, if I take this point as pure axis of rotation, I imagine that this disc has a small hole. This disc has a small hole here. This is the disc, and this disc has a small hole here. At the bottommost point, there is a small hole. At this point, I make a small hole here. Through this hole, I punch a hole. I drill a hole. And once after drilling this hole or make a hole here, I put some nail here and leave it. It will start to topple. In that case, that nail behaves as pure axis of rotation because this point is at rest, and the property of axis is that the point lying on the axis should be at rest. So I can convert this entire motion which I have taken till now, superimposition of translational and rotational. I can assume that this motion is purely rotational about this axis. If I take purely rotational about this axis, suppose I take that about this point, the ground is absent before this point, the ground is absent after this point. There is only one point, tip of the needle on which this is placed, and now it is falling. In that case, this is the point of rest. So this is the pure axis of rotation, like a disc rotating like this. So in that case, I can get the velocities directly. How? I would say whatever is the point at a distance, particular distance from here. Suppose this is the axis of rotation. If I take this as axis of rotation, bottommost point is axis of rotation, and angular velocity is omega. Now I know what is VCM. Any point at a distance x from the axis is moving on a circle of radius x and its speed is omega into x. So here this speed would become omega into r. The center of mass is at a distance of r. So perpendicular to this is omega into r. Call this VCO. Call this velocity of center of mass, omega r. What is the speed of this particle? This particle is at a distance of 2r. So perpendicular to that. So this speed would be equal to what? Omega into 2r. That means if omega into r is VCM, omega into 2r is 2 VCM. What is the speed of this particle? Distance is what? Root 2r. What is the speed of this particle? The distance of this particle from here is root 2r. So what is the speed of this particle? Root 2r into omega. Simply distance into omega. So I would be getting this as root 2r into omega. That means root 2 VCM. What is the speed of this particle? Understand. From this point, join this point. This is the radius vector. This is the radius vector. So this particle is going on the circle of radius root 2r. So speed would be perpendicular to this. And that is equal to what? Root 2 times of omega. Means root 2 VCM. I can get the speed of any point in one step. I do not have to superimpose VCM and omega r. I can get only in terms of omega entire speed. Every translational motion is purely rotational motion about some axis which we have to find. If we can find, then our variable is only one. Our unknown is only one. What is unknown? Unknown is omega. हमारा unknown omega होता है, सिर्फ one variable. In combined translation and rotation, we have two unknowns, VCM and omega both. Naturally, हमने क्या किया? We got the speed in one step. Just take the distance from instantaneous. This axis is called instantaneous axis of rotation. Why instantaneous? Because at this moment, this point is the axis. At the next moment, this point would be axis. At next moment, this point would become axis. But at that moment, this motion is purely rotational motion about its bottommost point. जो तुमको ट्रांसलेशन और रोटेशन दोनों दिख रहा था, वो एक्चुअली में इसके अबाउट प्योरली रोटेशनल था. ये इसके अबाउट प्योरली रोटेशनल था. Now, every combined motion is purely rotational motion about some axis. बताऊंगा कैसे निकालते हैं और how to solve the questions easily in that case. So first of all, understand. So once you get, now I have not taken instantaneous axis till now. I have not taken instantaneous. I am just introducing. Because I have drawn a diagram, so big diagram. So I am just telling you. Once I come to how to get instantaneous axis, I would going to explain you how to get that. अभी हम आएंगे. By the end of this class, we would complete that topic. Don't worry. So once you get the once you have to find the axis about which your answer becomes easier because your motion is purely rotational motion. So try to convert a particular motion, combined motion, always into purely rotational motion. How? I have not told. I would tell you. First thing, not only VCM, not only speed of various particles. You can get anything by one step. If I want to get kinetic energy of this, what I have done till now, I have got half mVCM square. I would get that. I am coming to that. Half mVCM square plus half ICM omega. So this is one method. Other method is just half I about this axis into omega square. One step. Half moment on SA about this axis. Do not take center mass. If you are taking center mass, you have to write half mVCM square plus half ICM omega square. If you are taking moment in SA about center mass. But if you are taking moment in SA about this axis, simply half I about this axis into omega square. Combined value would be obtained in one step. The combined value of translation and rotational would be obtained in one step if I write half I about this axis into omega square. Similarly, I can get angular momentum. So in any combined case, I would be doing the same thing. Okay. Before I come to that, I'm taking some more things here which you require. Okay. Let us see how. Once you roll a body, now understand in this case what you are going to get. I have told you that all the combined motion cases I am going to categorize into three categories. I have three categories of combined translational and rotational motion. I have three categories of combined translational and rotational motion. First category is uniform pure rolling. Second is rolling without slipping, acceleration, accelerated rolling, and third is slipping and skidding. All the cases have their own beauty, all the cases. So this is our first case which I started. So I started the first case. Let me tell you something. Because understand. So in this case one, what I have told you till now is that VCM is constant, omega is constant, no relative motion, no relative velocity between points of contact anywhere if 2 points are in contact, there is no relative velocity between them in tangential direction. That means there is no friction. That means therefore no friction acts. फ्रिक्शन होगा ही नहीं इस केस में. इसको बोलते हैं यूनिफॉर्म प्योर रोलिंग. यूनिफॉर्म प्योर रोलिंग. In the absence of friction, there is no relative motion between the points of contact. So why would friction come? Question is, why would friction come? Already इसकी स्पीड, सपोज ये ग्राउंड है, सपोज दिस इज ग्राउंड, ऑलरेडी इसकी VCM and omega is VCM by R. Already this point is at rest. Without friction, this point is at rest. Why friction comes? Because if friction is not present, there would be slipping. So friction comes into picture to maintain common velocity. If already there is no friction, like this, what is the analogous case of this? What is the counterpart in? So this is block placed here. Here friction coefficient is mu. This is rough surface. Friction coefficient is mu. What is friction acting here? Zero. Why? Because even if there is no force in the tangential direction, already without friction, this is at rest. If friction is not present, relative velocity is zero. So friction would not come into picture. Here, you have given such a velocity to V and omega. You have given such a value of VCM and omega. You have given VCM and omega in such a way that this point has zero velocity. This point has zero velocity. There is no tendency of motion. So why would friction act? Although surface is rough, but rough does not mean friction would act. Rough means if needed, friction would act. So friction would not act. So friction is zero. And since friction is zero, you would not get any question based on Newton's laws. Since friction is zero, all the forces are zero, all the torques are zero. You would not get any question based on Newton's laws. You would not get any question based on work power energy. No question on Newton's laws. No question on F is equal to ma or torque is equal to I alpha or work energy power. जब फोर्स ही नहीं है तो वर्क कहेगा? नो क्वेश्चन. Only question that can act here can be asked in this case. Only question that can be asked in this case is kinematics. So only question you would get here. So only question is of kinematics. Distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, radius of curvature, like that. So we are going to see which questions are going to be asked to you in this case. This is our first case. So don't worry, in the first case you would not get anywhere any question based on Newton's laws or work energy power. So what the question is there? Because V and omega are constant. torque and F is 0. So you would get only one question. That question is going to be kinematics. Velocity of particles, acceleration of particles, trajectory of particles, like that. So we are going to see what is the trajectory and which questions you are going to get. Okay. चलो हम क्या करते हैं? So what we are going to do is that let us see which kinematics questions you would get. Let us see which kinematics questions you can expect or you can get, because I feel that if you know the questions, you can answer it, because analysis must be done. Whether you have solved the question doesn't matter, but you must have in your imagination, you must have created that question and solved it mentally. You know that question can be framed. If that question can be framed, you can solve it. Okay, so let us see. First of all, I want to know from you. This is VCM. This is omega. Omega is VCM by R. Means VCM is equal to omega R. And this is going on the ground. What is the acceleration of the bottommost point? Is it 0? Would the acceleration of the bottommost point be 0? Yes, velocity is 0. I know, velocity is 0. But would the acceleration be 0? No, acceleration would not be 0. Why? Because I have to get acceleration of various points. My question is, find acceleration of various points. I have to get acceleration of various points. Now to get acceleration of various points, again I would be doing the same thing. I would be finding acceleration due to translational component and acceleration due to rotational counterpart and superimposing the two. I am going to get the acceleration due to only translational motion and acceleration due to only rotational motion, and I am going to superimpose the two. Let us see how. If I take only translational motion, what is the property? VCM. If something is going with constant velocity VCM translationally, what is the acceleration of each point? 0. So if I take only translational, every point would have 0 acceleration. If I am taking only translational with VCM constant, every point would have 0 acceleration. किसी point को कोई acceleration नहीं होगा, because VCM constant means acceleration 0, ACM 0, acceleration कहीं नहीं होगा. Now come to rotational. This is going with constant angular velocity omega. Rotational means this is going with constant angular velocity omega. Is there acceleration? Yes. Whenever something is moving on a uniform circular motion, although its omega is constant, so tangential acceleration alpha into r is 0. Rate of change of speed is 0, but rate of change of direction remains towards center. And what is that? Omega square r. So due to rotational motion, if I take a body having omega about this axis, and omega is constant, it is uniform circular motion. A circular motion with constant angular velocity has acceleration. That is rate of change of direction, centripetal. So that would be upward towards center. Omega square r here, omega square r here, omega square r here, and omega square r here. Superimpose the two and 0 here. 0 here. आवाज कहाँ से आ रहा है? From where the sound is coming? देखो 0 here, omega square r. At each point, uniform circular motion means accelerated motion towards center, and the acceleration is rate of change of direction, not rate of change of speed, and that is given by omega square r. So omega square r is the net acceleration of all the points. So if I ask you, with respect to ground, this point is at rest, correct? With respect to ground, this point is accelerated upwards. Yes, this point is accelerated. This ground have 0. If I ask you what is the acceleration of the topmost point with respect to bottommost point, so acceleration of the topmost point with respect to bottommost point is 2 times of omega square r. Acceleration of the topmost point with respect to the bottommost point is 2 times of omega square r downward. And what is the velocity of topmost point with respect to bottommost point? What is the velocity of the topmost point with respect to bottommost point? 2 VCM forward. Understand? Any doubt here? So, here again we prove that velocity 0 does not mean acceleration 0. This point has velocity 0, but its acceleration is not 0. This point has velocity 0, but acceleration is not 0. It is accelerated motion. It is accelerated motion. Okay. अब देखो how the particle moves. Particle move कैसे करता है समझो. The locus on which any particle moves during rolling is called cycloid. The locus on which, the trajectory on which any particle on the periphery of a rolling disc moves is called cycloid. Cycloid कैसे होता है और कैसे निकलता है ये जरा ये देखो. Suppose this is your disc or some ring or something like that. Then it comes here. After that, suppose it comes here. And then suppose it comes here. You know that in jet plane, when the jet plane or some missile is fired or some jet plane flows, it emits some kind of a smoke behind, and that in atmosphere it takes some kind of, it makes some mark जो धीरे धीरे करके that diffuse. So suppose I put some kind of thing here, an incense stick, एक अगरबत्ती का या एक धूप बत्ती मैं यहाँ फिट किया हूँ, उसको जला देता हूँ ताकि जहाँ भी स्मोक छोड़े उसको रोल कर देते हैं. Now this smoke would come like this. This smoke at a particular point, I have put some incense stick that emits some smoke. That smoke persists for some time in atmosphere. So this smoke would make a mark like this, which says that this is the trajectory. Any particle on the periphery would have a trajectory like this. This trajectory is called cycloid. This trajectory is called cycloid. क्या बोलते हैं इसको हम? इसको बोलते हैं cycloid. Similar cycloid comes when a charged particle moves in uniform electric field and magnetic field placed perpendicular to each other. अगर इलेक्ट्रिक और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड परपेंडिकुलर और किसी चार्ज को फेंक दो तो वो भी इसी साइक्लॉइड पे चलता है. ठीक है. Now I have to get, so this is the locus. Understand? This is the trajectory. This point P that is marked on the this point P after some time reaches the topmost point and then reaches the bottommost point. Okay. Now I want to know trajectory of this. So this is not moving. The locus of this particle is not circular. The locus of this particle is not circular. I want to know what is the trajectory. This is the locus. Trajectory of any point. I want to know what is the radius of curvature here. Radius of curvature मतलब क्या होता है? For any curved path, I have not told you circular motion, but in circular motion we have studied what is the meaning of radius of curvature. I understand that if this is an ellipse, I understand that at this point, this is slightly flatter, and at this point, the bend is very sharp. At this point, the bend is slow. At this point, bend is very fast, very sharp. So qualitatively, I say that here radius of curvature is large and here radius of curvature is small. Basically, any small piece of any curve at any point can be fitted in a circle. जैसे एक चूड़ी का टुकड़ा होता है, ए स्मॉल पीस ऑफ बैंगल, इफ आई फाइंड, आई कैन फाइंड विच इज द सर्किल ऑफ विच दिस बैंगल इज द पार्ट. सिमिलरली, इफ आई हैव ए स्मॉल पीस ऑफ एनी कर्व, I can find the circle in which that fits. So I take a small piece here and try to set it in the circle, and the circle is like this. The radius of this circle would be called radius of curvature at this point. Radius of curvature at this point. Similarly here circle would be slightly smaller, radius of curvature. Now how to get radius of curvature? Radius of curvature का जो टेक्निक होता है वो ये होता है. If in any case what you have to do is that, suppose this is the curved path, anything is moving on the curved path, and you have to know what is the radius of curvature here. Understand, at this point velocity is always tangential. At any point of the trajectory velocity is always tangential. क्या होता है? Always टेंजेंशियल होता है. वेलोसिटी हमेशा टेंजेंशियल होता है कर्वेचर के, हमेशा ट्रेजेक्ट्री के टेंजेंशियल होता है. वेलोसिटी इज ऑलवेज टेंजेंशियल टू ट्रेजेक्ट्री, बट एक्सेलरेशन इज नॉट. वन ऑफ द कंपोनेंट ऑफ द एक्सेलरेशन मस्ट बी इन दिस डायरेक्शन. वन ऑफ द कंपोनेंट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन मस्ट बी इन द कॉनकेव साइड. वन ऑफ द कंपोनेंट ऑफ द एक्सेलरेशन मस्ट बी ऑन द कॉनकेव साइड. एक कंपोनेंट एक्सेलरेशन का हमेशा कॉनकेव साइड में होता है. दूसरा कंपोनेंट अगर स्पीड इंक्रीज कर रहा है तो इस डायरेक्शन में होगा, स्पीड डिक्रीज कर रहा है तो टेंजेंट के अपोजिट होगा. सेकेंड कंपोनेंट इज आइदर इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ वेलोसिटी इफ स्पीड इज इंक्रीजिंग, एंड अपोजिट टू डायरेक्शन ऑफ वेलोसिटी इफ स्पीड इज डिक्रीजिंग. सो सपोज स्पीड इज इंक्रीजिंग, देन दिस वुड बी कॉल्ड अनदर कंपोनेंट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन कॉल्ड AT, A टेंजेंशियल. इन दोनों का वेक्टर सम is the A net. This component is rate of change of direction only, nothing, no change in speed. This component do not change speed, it only changes direction. This acceleration is called rate of change of direction. Radial acceleration or normal acceleration or centripetal acceleration, or this is called v square, speed square by radius of curvature, or omega square r, कुछ भी लिख सकते हो. This component is only rate of change of speed. This component is only rate of change of speed. It has nothing to do with direction. तो समझो, this change in speed, अगर ये इधर है तो देयर द रेट ऑफ इंक्रीज ऑफ स्पीड, अगर ये इधर है रेट ऑफ डिक्रीज ऑफ स्पीड. एग्रीड? नाउ हाउ वी गेट रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर? वी फाइंड द कंपोनेंट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन परपेंडिकुलर टू स्पीड. दिस इज द कंपोनेंट वी फाइंड. व्हाट इज आवर मेथड ऑफ गेटिंग रेडियस? दिस इज कॉल्ड रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर. वी नो स्पीड, वी फर्स्ट नो स्पीड, एंड वी राइट कंपोनेंट ऑफ, समझो इसका मतलब क्या है, कंपोनेंट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन. जो एक्सेलरेशन, नेट एक्सेलरेशन नॉर्मल टू वेलोसिटी, द कंपोनेंट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन नॉर्मल टू वेलोसिटी. अगर वेलोसिटी इस तरह से है तो उसके वो कंपोनेंट एक्सेलरेशन जो उसके परपेंडिकुलर है इज इक्वल टू स्पीड. स्पीड को कभी भी ब्रेक नहीं करेंगे, यहां कभी भी स्पीड ब्रेक नहीं करेंगे. याद रखना, यहां कभी भी हम वेलोसिटी को ब्रेक नहीं करते हैं, हम एक्सेलरेशन को ब्रेक करते हैं. दो कंपोनेंट में स्पीड तो जो है सो रखो, इसको तो स्केलर ले लो बाय रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर. तो अब ये बताओ, जब ये अपने टॉप मोस्ट पॉइंट पे है, इसकी स्पीड कितनी है? 2 VCM. इसकी स्पीड कितनी है? 2 VCM. कोई डाउट? अगर ये रोलिंग ग्राउंड पे हो रहा है तो अगर ये टॉप मोस्ट पॉइंट पे है तो हम इसकी स्पीड जानते हैं. टॉप मोस्ट पॉइंट की स्पीड क्या थी? 2 VCM. दूसरा, इसकी एक्सेलरेशन क्या है? बिकॉज ये यूनिफॉर्म प्योर रोलिंग है, इसकी एक्सेलरेशन सेंटर की तरफ थी, क्योंकि ड्यू टू ट्रांसलेशनल मोशन इसकी एक्सेलरेशन 0 होती है. Constant VCM means no acceleration. Constant omega means centripetal acceleration. तो एक ही acceleration है, कितनी है? ओमेगा स्क्वायर आर. अब बताओ ये इसका नेट एक्सेलरेशन है. क्या ये पूरा का पूरा एक्सेलरेशन परपेंडिकुलर है वेलोसिटी के? यस, दिस इज द कंपोनेंट ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन परपेंडिकुलर टू वेलोसिटी एज वेल एज नेट वेलोसिटी. बिकॉज इस पॉइंट पे रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ स्पीड जीरो है. समझो क्यों जीरो है? बिकॉज एक्सेलरेशन हैव नो कंपोनेंट along the direction of velocity. So rate of change of speed यहाँ कितनी है? जीरो है. और rate of change of direction कितना? ओमेगा स्क्वायर आर है. तो हमको क्या करना है? यहाँ क्या लिखेंगे? The component of acceleration, the component of this acceleration perpendicular to velocity, that is omega square r. That must be equal to speed whole square by something unknown. Speed whole square. What is speed? 2 VCM. Something unknown. Called radius of curvature. So what is radius of curvature coming out to be? Equal to, देखो VCM को क्या लिख दोगे? ओमेगा आर. VCM को लिख दो ओमेगा आर का होल स्क्वायर. तो हो जाएगा ये 4r ना. If I write VCM is equal to omega r whole square. Omega square cut 4r. That means at this point, when it is located at this point, the radius of the circle is here. Understand? This at this point, if I draw a circle, this is the circle, and center lies 2r here and 2r below. Here is the center of that circular path. From here, the circular path center lies at a distance of 4r. 2r below the ground. This is the center of curvature. सेंटर ऑफ कर्वेचर का मेथड याद रखना. स्पीड को वेलोसिटी को ब्रेक नहीं करते हैं, एक्सेलरेशन को ब्रेक करते हैं. स्पीड तो जो है सो है, स्केलर लेना है. स्केलर का कोई ब्रेक नहीं होता. इसको यहाँ डालो, ये अननोन है, ये सही से डाल दो, आ जाएगा. चाहे प्रोजेक्टाइल मोशन हो, चाहे कोई भी केस हो. ओके, नाउ यहाँ रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर हमने निकाल लिया, 4r होता है. हम ये जानना चाहते हैं व्हाट इज योर टोटल लेंथ ऑफ दिस पाथ. टोटल लेंथ ऑफ दिस, ये जो पूरा ट्रेजेक्टरी दिख रहा है एक साइकिल में, इसका टोटल लेंथ कितना है? और यू हैव टू प्रूव दैट दिस लेंथ इज 8r. कैसे करेंगे? सो हाउ टू गेट डिस्टेंस. समझो, इफ यू वांट टू गेट डिस्टेंस, इंटीग्रेट स्पीड. इफ यू वांट टू गेट डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड, इंटीग्रेट स्पीड. इफ यू वांट टू गेट डिस्प्लेसमेंट, इंटीग्रेट वेलोसिटी. वेलोसिटी का इंटीग्रेशन डिस्प्लेसमेंट देता है, और स्पीड का इंटीग्रेशन डिस्टेंस देता है. हमेशा, एवरीवेयर इन फिजिक्स. इफ यू वांट टू गेट डिस्टेंस, इंटीग्रेट स्पीड. इफ यू वांट टू गेट डिस्प्लेसमेंट, इंटीग्रेट वेलोसिटी. सो लेट अस सी डिस्टेंस और डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे निकालेंगे. और ये लेंथ 8r होता है. टोटल लेंथ कितना है? 8 टाइम्स ऑफ r होता है. ये कैसे निकालेंगे देखते हैं. So let us see. So देखो, so this is something rolling. At some moment of time it is here. शुरू में ये पॉइंट जो था, in the beginning this point was at bottommost point, and at time t it has point P has came here. So in the beginning this point P was at the bottommost point, and now it has moved like this, it has came here. इसको फिर से बना ही देते हैं. देखो, so this is your स्टार्टिंग में ये पॉइंट कोई था, पॉइंट P. आफ्टर सम टाइम इट केम हियर. सो अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस इज ओमेगा इंटू टी. ये एंगल कितना रोटेट कर जाएगा? ओमेगा इंटू टी, बिकॉज इसका एंगुलर वेलोसिटी कितना है? ओमेगा है. ये हो जाएगा ओमेगा इंटू टी. नाउ I want to know velocity of this point. So I know that this point would have two velocities. Which two velocities? one velocity would be like this. I know that this point would have one velocity here, VCM. Other velocity is here. What is that? Omega r. जो कि because ground पे rolling हो रहा है, this is also equal to VCM. Because this angle is omega t and this plus is 90 and this is, so this is also equal to omega t. ठीक है. So let us see. अगर हम इस वेलोसिटी को वेक्टर फॉर्म में लिखेंगे तो क्या लिखेंगे? हम इस वेलोसिटी को लिखेंगे वेक्टर फॉर्म में, इस तरह से लिखेंगे. वी कैन राइट v वेक्टर इज इक्वल टू vp वेक्टर इज इक्वल टू vcm i कैप प्लस vcm cos ओमेगा t. या काम करो, पहले एक काम करते हैं. वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड स्पीड ऑफ दिस. vp is equal to, if I take getting speed is equal to mod of vp, and that is equal to under root of vcm square plus vcm square plus 2 into, so vcm square plus vcm square plus 2 times of vcm into vcm cos 180 degree minus omega t, 180 degree minus omega t, and that is equal to under root of 2 VCM square into 1 minus cos omega t, and that is equal to, this is 2 sin square omega t by 2, so this is 2 VCM sin omega t by 2. ये क्या है? स्पीड है, ये वेलोसिटी नहीं है, ये स्पीड है. दिस स्केलर क्वांटिटी. इफ आई इंटीग्रेट दिस इन द होल साइकिल आई वुड गेट द डिस्टेंस. लेट अस इंटीग्रेट इट. सो डिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू, दिस स्पीड इज व्हाट? d distance by dt. Rate of change of distance is called speed. So distance is equal to, I can write distance traveled is equal to 2 times of VCM sin omega t by 2 dt. इसको इंटीग्रेट कर देते हैं. कहां से कहां तक? 0 से लेकर के टोटल टाइम पीरियड t तक, एक पूरे साइकिल का टाइम पीरियड. हम जानते हैं t इक्वल टू क्या हो जाएगा बताओ? 2 पाई बाय ओमेगा. बिकॉज जब ये एंगल, जब ये एक पूरा साइकिल कंप्लीट करेगा, दैट मीन्स ओमेगा इंटू टी मस्ट बी इक्वल टू 2 पाई. ओमेगा इंटू टी मस्ट बी इक्वल टू 2 पाई. अगर ये पूरा साइकिल कंप्लीट करेगा तो ओमेगा इंटू टी मस्ट बी इक्वल टू 2 पाई. दैट इज कॉल्ड द टाइम पीरियड. इफ आई इंटीग्रेट इट, व्हाट वुड आई गेट? आई वुड गेट 2 टाइम्स ऑफ व्हाट इज VCM omega. What is VCM? Omega. I can write VCM as omega. They are equal. Sin omega t by 2 minus cos omega t by 2 minus cos, integration of sin omega t by 2 is minus cos omega t by 2 divided by omega by 2 0 से t. Agreed? तो देखो ये ओमेगा तो कट गया. कितना आ गया? 4r. माइनस को प्लस बना देते हैं और अपर और लोअर को उलट देते हैं. सेम थिंग. 1 माइनस हियर, माइनस बिकम्स प्लस एंड 1 इज, इसको ऊपर इसको नीचे कर देते. सो टेक cos ओमेगा माइनस cos 0 माइनस cos 0 माइनस cos ओमेगा t by 2. cos 0 minus cos omega t by 2. Now tell me what is cos 0? 1. Cos omega t by 2. Because omega t is 2 pi, omega t by 2 is pi, cos pi is minus 1. Cos pi is minus 1. 1 minus minus 1. 2. 2 into 4r. 8r. That is 8r. This total length traveled is 8r. Because you have integrated speed. Although the displacement would be equal to 2 pi r. डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या होगा? वही होगा जो सेंट्रल मास का हुआ. समझो, अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू क्यों ऐसा होगा. हम इसको प्रूव कर सकते हैं इंटीग्रेट करके भी और इस तरह से भी, दोनों से. अंडरस्टैंड. सपोज वी हैव गॉट दिस. ये हमारा एक वो था, फिर ये हुआ और फिर ये यहां आ गया. ये पॉइंट था P, ये पॉइंट था सेंटर, फिर ये पॉइंट हुआ सेंटर, ये पॉइंट हो गया P. अगेन ये पॉइंट हो गया P, ये हो गया सेंटर। तो समझो जितना सेंटर चला उतना ही P चला। द डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ P इज सेम, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज 2 pi r, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज 2 pi r I cap, 2 pi r I cap, but distance traveled is 8 r। हम इसको इस तरह से भी कर सकते हैं। कैसे? वी कैन ऑल्सो डू इट इन दिस मैनर। किस मैनर में? हम ये कर सकते थे, सो दिस इज 8 r, जस्ट फॉर योर रेफरेंस, दिस टोटल डिस्टेंस इज 8 r एंड दिस डिस्टेंस इज 2 pi r, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज 2 pi r। सो हमने डिस्टेंस को जो है किया था इंटीग्रेट, सो वी हैव इंटीग्रेटेड स्पीड, हमने स्पीड को इंटीग्रेट किया था, सो वी गॉट डिस्टेंस। और हम क्या करते हैं? वेलोसिटी को इंटीग्रेट करते हैं। तो देखते हैं, वैसे हमको पता है ये 2 pi r होगा, लॉजिकली भी पता है, बट हम इसको इंटीग्रेट कर निकाल सकते हैं। वी कैन फाइंड इट बाय इंटीग्रेशन ऑल्सो। हाउ टू गेट बाय इंटीग्रेशन? तो एक काम करते हैं, कुछ इक्वेशंस इसमें डाल देते हैं, देखो व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू। सपोज दिस इज योर डिस्क ओरिजिनली, call this point P as origin, take here a point O as origin and take this as x-axis, and let us this be y-axis, let us suppose it moves। तो क्या करते हैं? How to move it? First move it by distance and then rotate it by something. First move, then rotate. According to Chesser's theorem, what you have to do is that put it here. हमने इसको यहाँ ले आया, इसको यहाँ ले आया, अब P यहाँ पहुँच गया। Now P is here. I know that this angle is theta, that is omega t. रोटेशन हुआ है टाइम t के बाद, this omega t। यहाँ इसकी दो वेलोसिटीज हैं, कौन कौन सी वेलोसिटीज हैं? वन वेलोसिटी इज VCM and one velocity is also in this direction and that is VCM. Omega r is basically VCM, and this angle would be equal to omega t. So we can get VP vector is equal to, we can write VP vector is equal to VCM minus VCM cos omega t, या VCM I cap plus VCM I cap plus, or you can write VCM I cap minus VCM cos omega t I cap plus VCM sin omega t j cap। देखो एक तो VCM I cap था ही, इसका एक कंपोनेंट होगा नेगेटिव x में, VCM ओमेगा टी माइनस आई कैप, और ये हो जाएगा VCM ओमेगा टी VCM साइन ओमेगा टी जे कैप। इसको इंटीग्रेट कर देते हैं, इसको दोनों तरफ इंटीग्रेट कर देते हैं dt डाल के। तो क्या होगा? cos ओमेगा टी का इंटीग्रल पूरे साइकिल में 0 होता है, cos ओमेगा टी का इंटीग्रल पूरे साइकिल में 0 होता है। वाई? एरिया अंडर कॉस ग्राफ, इफ यू ड्रॉ कॉस ग्राफ, एरिया अंडर कॉस ग्राफ फ्रॉम 0 to 2 pi 0, जितना पॉजिटिव एरिया होता है नेगेटिव एरिया, सो दिस वन इज साइन ओमेगा टी का इंटीग्रल पूरे साइकिल में क्या होता है? 0 होता है, जितना पॉजिटिव एरिया होता है नेगेटिव एरिया। दिस टू इंटीग्रल वुड कैंसिल इन द एंटायर साइकिल, बचेगा क्या? VCM into t, only VCM into t। so your displacement would be equal to VCM into t। VCM कितना था? हमको किसके टर्म में लिखना है? हम इसको लिखे हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिस्टेंस, लिखे हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ r, हमको r के टर्म में चाहिए, ठीक है। VCM को लिख सकते हैं हम, टाइम को लिख सकते हैं, हाँ VCM लिखते हैं ओमेगा r, VCM को क्या लिख देंगे? ओमेगा r, और टाइम को क्या लिख देंगे? 2 pi by omega। So you got 2 pi r, distance is 2 pi r। So whenever you have to get, जैसे प्रोजेक्टाइल मोशन होता है, प्रोजेक्टाइल मोशन हम जानते हैं डिस्प्लेसमेंट, अगर पोजीशन है x I कैप प्लस y j कैप, दैट मीन्स पोजीशन इज अंडर रूट, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज अंडर रूट x स्क्वायर प्लस y स्क्वायर। Or what about distance? How to get distance traveled in the projectile motion? So like in those cases, we have to go by integration. Whenever you have to, Nitin, pucho? Any doubt? Nitin, you want to ask something? Nitin, do you want to ask something? Okay. Now, so we are getting this thing. So many cases such are there. Now, how to get instantaneous access? I'm not starting it now. That would be our next class. I would be taking Galaxy J2. Any doubt? Anybody have any doubt to ask till now? I would share this today's class recording on YouTube within half an hour. Okay, so you can see this rotational lecture 5. Refer to it if you want to make, and I would share notes also. Neru, okay. So in the next class, first thing that I am going to tell you is how to find instantaneous access and how to solve the question using that. And we are going to take our rolling case with acceleration, where friction acts, but it do not do any work. Second case. So two topics I am going to take in next class. First is how to find instantaneous axis of rotation and how to solve the question using that method easily. I will take lots of illustration to tell you that the difficulty, the comparison between the method without instantaneous axis and with that. Second, I am going to tell you rolling motion. In rolling motion with acceleration on inclined plane or all those things, how to have shortcut methods to solve that. In third class, in the next to next class, I am going to take once slipping to skidding motion, and how skidding motion comes in that, and as a shortcut method in that, I am going to take angular momentum and its conservation. You want notes? Okay, I would share notes. Whatever I have. I would share notes. After 10-15 minutes, I would share notes on the same group. But I think notes are not written in so good manner. But content is there. But good manner is not there. This year I am making the notes in a good manner because earlier I don't have the Apple tab. Okay, worksheets you want. I have the worksheet I can share with you, and in that worksheet questions have been classified. Classified means there are 5 topics in which I have divided the entire chapter, and I have classified the questions based on those 5 topics. Means moment of inertia, rolling, conservation of momentum, angular momentum, all topics are classified. So whatever you have done, you can do it. Else, whatever you are doing, if you are not getting answer of any question, if you have difficulty in solving any question, send on my WhatsApp. I would share the question and solution on the group for everyone. That I can do. Okay, so I would share now with you one question bank also. But I don't think you have so much time to practice. But just go through that. Okay. So in next class we are going to cover instantaneous axis of rotation, and second thing is rolling motion. Okay. Thanks for joining. And any doubt, any help, anything you want, just give me a WhatsApp message. I would respond certainly if I am not in the class. I would respond, whether I would take 1 hour or 2 hours, I would respond. Okay. Chalo. Thank you. I would share 3 things: video lecture on YouTube. Second, I would be sharing with you notes, and third, one question bank with question classified. Okay. Now within 1 hour, all things will be shared on the group. Just see it. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. अरे बाप रे हाँ